Hello student, welcome to the last lecture of unit number 5, that is a quadrature amplitude modulation or a QAM. Learning objectives of today's lecture: quadrature amplitude modulation, its generation and detection, signal space representation of a QAM. What is QAM or a quadrature amplitude modulation? Quadrature amplitude modulation or a QAM is a form of modulation which is widely used for modulating data signal onto a carrier used for a radio communication. It is widely used because it offers advantages over other forms of data modulation such as PSK. Although many forms of data modulation operates alongside with each other. QAM is a signal in which two carriers shifted in phase by 90 degree are modulated, and the resultant output consists of both amplitude and the phase variation. In view of the fact that both the amplitude and the phase variations are present, it may be also considered as a mixture of amplitude and a phase modulation. A motivation for the use of QAM comes from the fact that the state amplitude modulating signal as a double sideband, even with a suppressed carrier, occupies twice the bandwidth of the modulating signal. This is very wasteful of the available frequency spectrum. QAM restores the balance by placing two independent sideband suppressed carrier signals in the same spectrum as one ordinary double sideband suppressed carrier signal. So this is why we are using a QAM most widely in a radio communication, because there is a variation in the amplitude as well as a modulation frequency. Now the types of QAM, now based on there are various varieties of the QAM available, and some of the most common include 16 QAM, 32 QAM, 64 QAM, 128 and 256. The various flavors of QAM may be used when the data rates beyond those offered by 8 PSK are required by radio communication system. This is because QAM achieves a greater distance between adjacent point in a I and in and quadrature plane by distributing the points more evenly, and in this way the point on the constellations are more distinct and the data error can be reduced. While it is possible to transmit more bits per symbol if the energy of the constellation is to remain the same, the point on the constellation must be closer together, and then transmission becomes more susceptible to the noise, and this results in a higher bit rate than the lower order QAM variants. So as the number of variants increases, the number of constellation present also increases. Now this are the diagram for the constellation. So if you have a look towards this 4 diagram, first one is a 4 QAM. Now if you compare this diagram with the QPSK signal, in QPSK we are having a one constellation in one quadrant. Here for 8 QAM we are having, what we are doing is, suppose I am a 8 QAM, I divide it by 4 because we are having a 4 quadrant, and that value whatever value comes after division is considered as a number of constellation present in one particular quadrant. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we are having a 2 number of constellation, 2 number of points present in a one particular quadrant. Similarly in 16 QAM we are having a 4 number of points present in a one quadrant. For 32 we are having 8 number of points present in one respective quadrant. Now here the figure refers to the number of points on the constellation, that is the number of distinct state that can present in one particular quadrant. The constellation diagram shows the different position of the state within different form of QAM. As the order of modulation increases, so does the number of points in a QAM constellation diagram also increases. So as we go on increasing the point, as we are increasing the order of modulation, there is an increase in a constellation point in one particular quadrant. Then the block diagram of QAM. So this one is a block diagram of a QAM. So what a QAM block diagram consists of? The first is a serial to parallel converter. So what it will do? It will convert the received signal into the parallel form. So your input received signal, your bit stream is in serial format. It will divide into the parallel format, and that is given to the digital to analog converter. So digital to analog converter will convert the respective digital value to an analog, and that analog signal is considered as a modulating voltage, and that modulating voltage is given to a modulator along with the carrier, and then the output is coupled to an input of a multiplexer, to the input of a summer. Now the quadrature amplitude modulation QAM is similar to the DSB SC modulation. The only difference is that the QAM sends two message signals over a same spectrum. So here we are sending two message signals. First one is from the upper channel and second one is from the lower. Let the two message signal be X1 and X2 are my two message signals, and one of them is sent in phase by multiplying it with the cos, so it is in a phase, and the other one X2 is sent in a quadrature by multiplying it with the sine. So in this way we are having one in phase and another one is in a quadrature phase shift carriers. And finally the two signals are added to obtain a QAM signal. So here we are getting a QAM signal as shown in the figure. Hence the QAM signal is mathematically represented as below. So QAM is a x1 multiplied with the cos omega ct plus x2 multiplied with the sin omega ct. Now as these two signals get added, it will generate our quadrature amplitude modulated signal. Demodulator, so this one is a block diagram of a demodulator. So in demodulator what we are doing, we receive the signal, we split, then the received signal is applied. The same signal we are applying to the two modulator. First modulator is having a carrier frequency of cos and second one is having a carrier frequency of a sine, and then it passes to the low pass filter. Now the low pass filter value is set to the values of x1 and x2. So first low pass filter will passes only x1 values and second one will passes only x2 value. And now that as this value is in analog format, we need to convert it back into the digital. So it is given to the analog to digital converter. So at the output of digital is given to the serial to parallel converter, so that it will arrange the data which was initially converted into parallel form to its actual serial format. So for that we are having the serial to parallel converter. It's working. The coherent detection is used at the receiver to recover the signal x of t back. The QM signal at the receiver input is multiplied by the locally generated carrier and product is passed through a low pass filter. If we multiply received signal by a cos omega ct, then we recover x1 of t, whereas by multiplying quadrature amplitude modulated signal by sine, we recover x2 signal as under QAM x into cos is equals to x1. Here I have just explained the values. So what is the rotation of a QAM? QAM is nothing but x1 cos omega ct plus x2 sin omega ct. This particular value is multiplied with the cos omega ct. After multiplication, if you take we just open up this bracket, so this cos is multiplied with the cos will become cos square, and the cos multiplied by sine will become a cos into sine value. Then we are using the trigonometric identities. Now what is the trigonometric identity? By using a trigonometric identity, what we are getting, this is half x1t plus half cos omega ct. Now this particular value we are getting from the trigonometric identity, that is cos square theta. The cos square theta is nothing but 1 plus cos 2 theta upon 2. We are just writing out that value, plus this particular value is written as half sin omega ct. So in this way we are just noting out the values, and then if we pass this signal through the low pass filter, only the first term will be passed through it and rest all gets suppressed. Now the output of a low pass filter is half x1t, where half is nothing but a DC value or just a constant value, so we don't bother about that value. The output of a first filter is x1 of t. Thus we recover x1 if your QAM is multiplied with the cos omega ct. Similarly, if sin omega ct is multiplied with the quadrature amplitude modulated signal, then we get the output as, this is my quadrature amplitude signal multiplied by sine will become half sin omega ct cos omega ct plus x square sin omega square t. By simplifying this, we are getting the value as, and again if you pass this on this value by a low pass filter, it will passes only the first, it will passes through only this particular portion, rest all portions get blocked. And if you pass it through the low pass filter, then the only first term or the term which consists of x2 will be passes through the output, and we are getting the output as a x2t. So in this way we just separate out the values of x1 and x2. Then the next one is signal space representation of a QAM. So here we have just taken the example of a 16 point QAM. So in 16 point we are having a 60 number of constellation present in a quadrant. Now one thing is very important, that each point is separate out by each, or there is a distance of a 2a. So if you have a loop, this is my first point, this one, just take example. So here the location is minus 3a, this one is located at location minus a, this one is at a, and this one is a 3a. So if you find out the difference for between 2 points comes out to be twice a. Here again the difference is twice a, and here again the distance is twice a. Similarly the condition over here, if you have a loop over here, so here the value is a 3a, here the value is minus a 3a, so in between the difference is twice a, in between the difference is twice a, and here again the difference is twice a. Even the distance between the 13 and 8, if you solve it by using a Pythagoras theorem, is again comes out to be twice a only. So the difference, so the distance between the 2 points is always a twice a, that's a constant term. and the distance between the two neighboring points, that is a D, is twice A. Average energy associated with the signal can be obtained. Now first task is to find out the average energy. So for finding the average energy of the symbol, what we are taking, we are just finding out the average of all terms. So what is going to be my average values? So here what I am doing, A square plus A square. Where is my A square? This is a A square plus A square. Okay. Then 9A square plus A square is a second term. A square plus 9A square plus 9A square plus 9A square. Now the question arises, from where we are getting all this value? We are just finding out the values of each spectrum. So just take example of this. For 13 point with respect to origin, this is my 13. So with respect to origin, the difference is what? Your x-axis having the value of A, here the value is A. So the difference at the location is this, nothing but A square plus A square. Okay, that is again by Pythagoras, and we have just modified it actually. So I'm just finding out this gap. So for finding out this gap, what I have to do, according to the Pythagoras theorem, B square is equals to A square plus B square is equals to C square actually. So for that I'm just finding out this particular value. So it comes out to be A square plus A square. Similarly for 9, the distance is, this value is 3A square is nothing but a 9A square, and this particular distance is A only. So therefore it comes out to be A square. Similarly, if you find out the value 8, so for 8, this distance is 3A and this one is also 3A. Therefore the value comes out to be 9A square plus 9A square, and therefore the total energy associated with the signal can be obtained as 10A square. Since D is equals to twice A, there is a difference between two distinct points. D is equals to twice A. So we can write it as D is equals to twice under root of 0.1 ES square. We have just modified the values. So it is 2A square, therefore it comes out to be 0.1 ES. So it is written as it is a 2. See, your A value from this above equation is nothing but under root of 10 ES. So that's what I have written over here actually. I have just skipped some steps. I have directly switched on to the next step. So your D comes out to be, by putting the value of A from the above equation, is under root of 0.1 ES. So this is 2 is outside. So if you shift this 2 inside the square root, it will become 4. So the 4 into 0.4 comes out to be 0.4 ES. Now this gives the distance between the two signal points in the 16 QM. Hence the energy bit and the signal energy are related as ES is equals to 4 EB. Why? Because it's a 16-bit QM. 16-bit QM means we are having a 16 array. Means each symbol is made up of the 4 number of bits. Therefore, your symbol energy is equals to energy of 4 bits. So therefore, ES is equals to 4 EB. Put it in the above equation. Our distance comes out to be 0.4 into 4 EB. Therefore, the distance is equals to 0.16 EB. So this is what the distance which we are getting in case of a 16 QAM. Next thing. Now the distance for the QPSK. We have already found out the distance for the QPSK is 4 EB. Hence the distance for a 16 array PSK is what? The 16 array, this thing we have already seen in the last lecture. The distance, the formula for finding the distance for a MRA PSK. So it comes out to be twice under root of 4 EB sine pi by 16. So this was a formula considering the MRA PSK. So this one is a formula for considering QPSK. Now, if you solve this particular equation for 16 MRA PSK, the distance is, I have just taken pi by 60, so it comes out to be 0.6 EB. Thus, the distance for the 16 QPSK is greater than the distance for a 16 PSK, whereas it is less than the QPSK. Advantages of QAM. One of the best advantage of QAM that it supports a high data rate, so the number of bits can be carried by carrier signal. Because of this advantage, it is preferable in wireless communication network. So this is a major advantage of the application of QAM. It is widely used in the wireless communication networks. QAM's noise immunity is very high. Due to this, noise interference is very less. It has low probability of error value. QAM expertly uses channel bandwidth. So these all are the advantages of using QAM. And the applications. The application of QAM are mostly observed in the radio communication and the data delivery application system. QAM techniques have wide application in the radio communication field, because as the increment of the data rate, there is a chances of noise increment, but this QAM technique is not affected by noise interference. Hence there is an easy mode of signal transmission can be possible with this QAM. And lastly, the QAM has a wide application in transmitting digital signal like digital cables, television, or in the internet services. And finally, in cellular telecommunication, wireless device technology, quadrature amplitude modulation is preferred. So mostly the QM technologies are used in the wireless communication technologies. So this is all about QM technologies, and with this we have finished our unit number 5. Thank you so much.